everybody. This is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 7 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Great American Speedway, the Texas Motor Speedway, for the Interstate Batteries 500. It is 67 laps of action around this 1.5 mile racetrack in Fort Worth, Texas. And it's probably going to be 10 times better than the race you're going to see on Sunday. So stick around. It's going to be a fun one here. These 42 drivers, we're going to be hitting some pretty fast speeds. And we're going to be seeing a lot more passing than what we saw last weekend at Martinsville. So you're definitely in store for a good show. And I'm looking forward to see how this one plays out. It is consistently one of the best races of the year in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series racing-wise. And last year we had a great battle between Zachary Fitzwater and Brad Stover for the race victory, and it usually comes down to just a couple drivers, but it's always a fun battle when those two drivers are battling it out for the race win. I'm alongside Alex Boxner for this race here today. Now, this track is completely different from what we saw last week at Martinsville, but it's still a little difficult to move your way from the back to the front. So what do you tell drivers who are in the back of the field for this race? What do you tell them to get up to the front of this race? How do you do it here at Texas?
Well, I mean, there's really a lot of things that could be put into consideration. I mean, there's drafting for one, and drafting is a huge factor. And not only super speedways, but on mile-and-a-half tracks like this that produce top speeds close to 200 miles an hour. There's one reason, and then, of course, the other reasons are pit strategy. Pit strategy is another key right here. We've seen a lot of people in the past pull wins out of nowhere because they played the pit strategy right compared to their other competitors.
Yeah, and pit strategy will come into play. We'll most likely have some green flag stops in this race. It's going to be a 2-stop race here at Texas, so pit strategy is going to be big for these guys. And how fast you make your pit stops and when you take them, it's going to affect the entire outcome of the race. Of course, you got to be up front when that first set of green flag pit stops rolls around. But if you're in the top 10, you're going to have a good shot at a race victory here today at Texas. Coming into today's event, Mark Davidson is still the points leader after he posted a rather well run at the Martinsville Speedway. After he stood on the pole for that race, I believe he finished in the 12th position. He still holds on to the points lead with 202 points towards the championship. He's been averaging, as a rookie driver, 33 points a race. Not too bad, considering this is his first run in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. The guy behind him in second, he's been around for quite a while. Here's Arvin Alonso, only 8 points behind. He's backing up third place and a second place run here coming into Texas, and he's been doing extra solid the past couple of races with that. Diego Yepes is only 16 points behind. He won a couple weeks ago at California. Wyatt Quayle, the Las Vegas winner, is 28 points behind, and another rookie, Emily Anderson, 29 points behind. She starts 4th for this race. She's been doing an excellent job replacing Elijah Gordon at EGI in the number 5, and she's showing us that number 5 is one of the best cars in this series. We'll have to see how this race plays out. We do know that a veteran driver is starting on the pole position. It's Justin Roberts in the number 38 alongside Seth Cole for row number 1. This is Seth Cole's first front row starting position, I do believe, in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Of course, I have no facts to back that up because I can't remember anything. But I'm pretty sure this is his best starting position in the series and probably his best shot at getting an Napa Fan win. He's never won before on this channel, so today might be the day for the veteran NR 2003 driver. Row number 2, we got Tristan Allen alongside rookie Emily Anderson, who has been doing an excellent job in that number 5. She starts in the 4th position with a great shot at her first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. Julius Anderson starts alongside Michael Canto in row number 3. Both of those guys looking for their first ever Cup Series win. Nicholas Sambadio going for his 4th career Cup Series victory. Seidel Motorsports looking for their first win in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as well. He starts alongside rookie Lucas Jacobson in row number 5. We have Ace Garcia and Silas Horta. Both of those guys going to get a race victory here today. A good shot at it as well. Silas Horta, another rookie, has been doing an excellent job this season for Beast Racing. Looks like everybody's rolling off. There's last week's runner-up from Martinsville, Garrett Sonor. He's starting last for this race. There's your points leader, Mark Davidson, with Jonathan Skimnicki, last week's winner, right ahead of him. Going to be interesting to see who gets the win here today. We're going to see a lot of passing for the race lead, but we're going to see him spread out a little bit as well. So you got to get up front early on, and you might not have a shot at winning. It's the Interstate Batteries 500. Justin Roberts leads the field of the green flag. We're racing here at Texas. Lap 1 led by Justin Roberts. Great run there to surpass Tristan Allen on the first lap. Allen's gonna clear Julius Anderson in the number 3, trying to close in on the 38 for the race lead. Nicholas Samadillo is up to the 4th position with Ace Garcia running 5th, but a fast start. You can tell how fast these guys go here at Texas. High bank, 1.5 miles, some of the fastest speeds we get in the entire series here from the Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that. I mean, this is one of a few tracks on the schedule that we come to in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series that have high speeds. You have Texas right here, you have Atlanta, and even Charlotte has tracks that can exceed speeds of 200 miles an hour depending. As we have a battle for second here between Tristan Allen and Julius Anderson here, as Julius Anderson's going to take the second spot away from Tristan Allen, and we have another battle here brewing between number 81 and 22.
We got 3 wide. Nicholas Samadillo got shuffled out of line as Silas Orta and Diego Yepez go to the inside of him. Gotta watch out for that right there. You do not want to be that high up the racetrack exiting turn number 2. Orta lost a little bit of traction there as well in number 88. And one guy I want to mention is Seth Cole. He's falling back like a rock. You get stuck up there on the outside lane and you go nowhere here at Texas, and you see him. He's out in the gray, not in the dark gray, but in the light gray, and there's no grip up there. And Seth Cole, that last lap around, he was 21st after starting on the outside pole in only 4 laps. He's losing about 5 positions a lap right there. Colton Yell a little wide. Ooh, almost getting into Zachary Fitzwater right there, but they're keeping it together. The trouble spot here at Texas is right off at turn number 2. So we see these guys overshoot the corner, and that's where we see the wrecks happen here if they do happen. There's a chance this race might go caution-free. That's the nature of Texas, but with how fast we're going, we might get one here today in the Interstate Batteries 500.
Yeah, and it's a definite possibility in these cases. I mean, you know, so far this season, I do not believe that we've gone a full Chick-fil-A Cup Series race without at least one caution.
You
but
definitely haven't been watching, because Las Vegas and California both have gone caution-free this season. If this one were to go caution-free, it'd be the 3rd race out of the first 7 to go caution-free this season. But we've had a lot of races where they've raced it very clean. Of course, the pit frequency probably has something to do with that. They don't make as many pit stops anymore as they used to, so maybe they race it a little bit differently because they know they can't go off the pit stop and play a little strategy. They might race it a little bit cleaner, but either way, these guys are racing really fast. But Justin Roberts has led every lap so far in this race. Nobody's been able to catch up to him for this race lead, as he's led the first 7 here at Texas. 60 to go in the Interstate Batteries 500.
Yeah, and Justin Roberts doing really good so far for American Motorsports, leading the field so far. And I mean, you know, this American Motorsports, this is a team that has been wanting to go places for a long, long time, and it seems like this season has kind of been their breakout season almost.
Yeah, they had driver Josh Marzak get the Daytona 500 victory. Nathan Stapleton hasn't been doing that well, but Justin Roberts, you know he's good. He's got 3 Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victories coming into this season. He knows how to get one of these wins, and he won at Atlanta before in the 2nd ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, so this place has some similarities to Atlanta. Might see something out of Justin Roberts here today in that number 38. Nicholas Samadillo, Alexander Rowe, Jesse Turner moving their way through the field. They're all in the top 6 now. Ace Garcia's to the inside of Silas Orta. That is for the 7th position. Roger Ray moving his way through the field very well. And Zachary Fitzwater, last year's Texas winner, on the inside lane, just outside the top 10 here from Texas.
Yeah, you saw in those midfields that they were scrapping a little, as so far right now, currently in the 2nd position, that's Diego Yepez. And Yepez last season got a win in Road America.
No, he did not. That was Ace Garcia who got the win in Road America. But 2 weeks ago, Yepez won at California. He's going for his 2nd career Cup Series win here today. He's closing right in on Justin Roberts, trying to dethrone him from the race lead. But Roberts has been able to lead every lap so far. They've been battling for 2nd quite a bit in this one, but they haven't been able to get to the 38 yet. But we might be seeing Yepez close in here very soon to possibly take that lead away from the 38. Got Sam Medeo, Alexander Rowe, and Jesse Turner trying to close in on the top 3. Ace Garcia, Roger Ray, and Sebastian Cucalan rounding out the top 10 here at Texas. Actually, Patrick Smith rounds out the top 10, but single file throughout the majority of the field. You gotta watch out for Fitzy here. He's shuffled out of line. Brad Stover's right behind him. They're gonna keep it together.
Yeah, man, that was a close one between Zachary Fitzwater and Brad Stover there in the number 99, and that's gonna really cost Zachary Fitzwater. Well, it's not going to really cost Fitzwater a whole lot of time. If anything, he gained a little bit by trying to force a situation, and now he's gotten to the bottom here. So maybe he'll be catching up here shortly, but you know, anything can happen here in this race. I mean, look at that, Brad Stover.
Brad Stover almost getting turned in. Stephen Thompson in the inside wall. That should trigger the yellow, and it will. First yellow of the day here at Texas as Stephen Thompson got shuffled at a line. He was to the inside of Brad Stover. Brad Stover came back down on him. And your old ride from last year ain't too mellow yellow here today at Texas.
And I don't know what it is between this season and Stephen Thompson at number 97, or me commentating at Stephen Thompson's performance. I don't know what it is. It's either, whenever I'm commentating, it seems like there's always going to be bad luck for Stephen Thompson, so maybe it's a little jinx going on.
That's a tough break for the driver, the number 97. Pretty sure Stephen Thompson drives alongside you in the Rockstar Pro Series, so you guys are actually competitors over there, so maybe that's why. Either way, we got a great opportunity for the first set of pit stops here today. Justin Roberts leading the field down, and everybody should be coming down. A great opportunity to do so. You're going to want to make your pit stop under the yellow if the opportunity arises. Just trying to make a pit stop under green here, there's a lot more possibility for you to fall back and fall off the race lead here. You're all going to get bunched up on the restart, so if you mess up here, you're still going to have a good chance of winning because you're going to be right on everybody for the restart of the race. Justin Roberts has still led every lap in this thing, but do not expect him to do that the entire race because Yepez and those guys were coming fast. It is very difficult to lead every lap here at Texas. And just because they were battling for second, as much as they were, that is why Roberts was able to lead as much as he did. We'll see where he comes in relation to the rest of the field. He's got the lead with Fisher G, Jesse Turner, Diego Yepez, and Nicolas Amadeo. The top five off the pit lane. Make sure we have no problems on the pit lane. Looks like everybody's getting off cleanly here. And that is a good sight to see. Stephen Thompson bringing out the first yellow of the race. Got spun off there as he hit Brad Stover. Let's see what happened to him to bring out the first caution here in the Interstate Batteries 500 from Texas. Well, you're going to see right here, Brad Stover's in the gray and Stephen Thompson shooting up the racetrack. The thing is, Stephen Thompson is Brad Stover right ahead of him there, and he cannot make the adjustment to avoid spinning around and hitting him. And he comes back down on Andrew Ross right there and into the inside wall. Fortunately, it's a one-car incident, not a big one here at Texas, but still enough to trigger the caution right there as he was sideways on the racetrack. Was enough to trigger it for the first yellow of the day.
And a good thing, too, is that there's not a lot of damage on Stephen Thompson's car, so hopefully he can be able to continue here in this race. You know, there doesn't seem to be a lot of damage.
He did hit the front of his race car, so he might not be going as fast as everybody else, but he should be able to continue here at Texas. We'll have to see as this race goes along.
Yeah, you know, just nowhere to go here, and just from there, calamities for Stephen Thompson. And it's bad luck for him because, you know, he's talented. He's led before in a race, and yet this bad luck and this bad omen just comes in and sweeps over his performance. Hopefully this won't affect him in the future.
Yeah, this whole team's had a bad omen the entire season. NOFSRL Motorsports last in the owner points coming into this race now. They do have Jesse Turner running third right now, but their veteran drivers, along with Stephen Thompson, have not been shining to the point that they would like to. But hey, a lot of time to improve between now and the end of the season. Maybe even time to improve right here. Justin Roberts is the race leader. He's led every lap so far, but he's going to probably get overtaken here soon. So we're just going to have to see what happens as we get to the restart in the Interstate Batteries 500 from Texas. We're back here at the Texas Motor Speedway in the Interstate Batteries 500, race 7 of Season 8 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and Justin Roberts for American Motorsports, second ever winner on Napa Fan. Holding on to the race leads, led every lap so far, but he's going to have a lot to do to keep that race lead. He's got Fisher G, whose teammates finished 1-2 last week at Martinsville, Skibnicki and Garrett Sonor. And Jesse Turner won the first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series race here. He is restarting, I should say, in the third position. California winner Diego Yepez, he is in the fourth position. Nicolas Amadeo, Alexander Rowe, Roger A, Sebastian Kukulon, Phoenix winner Patrick Smith, and Emily Anderson, the top 10 as we go to the restart with 50 laps to go. Justin Roberts holding onto the race lead here at Texas. Fisher G, a great opportunity for him to get his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. He's trying to find that inside on the 38, and he might have the run down the backstretch.
There's a possibility here, but look here, Jesse Turner in the 77. He got a bit of a run, a little bit of help from Diego Yepes. So this could probably be a 3-car battle for the lead, maybe if not a 4-car battle. Anything is possible.
I think it's just a 10-car battle at this point. All these guys run on each other for the race lead. Here comes Sam Medeo to the inside of Yepes, and Turner's going to take it away from Fisher G as Roberts pulls away again. They got that 38 tuned up really well here today. Here comes Nicholas Amedeo and Jesse Turner, the first 2 Daytona 500 champions in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, 2nd and 3rd right now. Turner might get the run here on the 38. Jesse Turner has won a Turkey Hill Series race here at the Texas Motor Speedway in the past, and he's got the run to the inside of Patrick Smith, or should I say Justin Roberts, for the race lead. I don't know why I said Patrick Smith right there, but we got a new race leader. His name is Jesse Turner, and here comes Sam Medeo, just like you said. How about Seidel Motorsports on that inside? Sam Medeo and Roger Ray, now 2nd and 3rd, as Jesse Turner leads at the Texas Motor Speedway.
And as we were saying about this team earlier, having a bad omen, look at that. Jesse Turner leading here in the Interstate Batteries 500.
That's 77, last one at Bristol last year. Jesse Turner has one of the longest losing streaks in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series history. He came from Season 2 at Dover to Season 6 at Chicagoland. It's not the longest losing streak in Chick-fil-A Cup Series history anymore, but it was the time of his victory. Take a look and see where everybody is on the grid, and everybody's still out there. Outside pole sitter Seth Cole is last. He was last, and now put Nathan Stapleton in the last position. But everybody's still on the lead lap here on lap 22 of 67 after that first caution.
Yeah, and that's a good thing that, everyone is still on the lead lap here. It means that everyone is still competitive in this race. They still have a fighting chance, if any. And, it's just, this race so far, it's becoming pretty good here. We've already had a new leader. We may have a new leader here coming up soon, the way Sam Medeo is closing in on Jesse Turner.
How about these veterans? Like I said, the first 2 Daytona 500 champions in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series going at it for the race lead. Haven't seen this in a long time. A couple of long-time veterans battling for the race win in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Sam Medeo could not run that inside well, and he could not get around Turner, and Turner remains out front in the 77. I mentioned that Turner was getting around Patrick Smith a couple laps ago for the race lead. That was completely incorrect. It was Justin Roberts, of course. But Patrick Smith is still doing a darn good job here today. He's running 3rd. He won 3 weeks ago at Phoenix for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory, and North State Racing looking pretty solid with their veteran driver, their sophomore driver, Patrick Smith. And how about Sebastian Cucalon? We're talking about Emily Anderson doing a good job. I'm pretty sure Sebastian Cucalon is right behind her in the point standings. And Cucalon right now running in the 5th position with Emily Anderson. And this group of cars for 7th. John Arndt to the inside of Colton Yo. That is for the 7th position. Fisher G's falling back to 8th. He's to the inside of Alex Inero, who's 9th. And 10th is now Ace Garcia in the 81. Well, you might want to watch out for these guys because they could get shuffled around in a bad way, and we could have another Stephen Thompson incident here at Texas.
Yeah, it's getting really antsy back here in the pack. You got a lot of this pack racing going on up in the back here instead of in the front, and just look at a lot of these guys. Look at Garrettson Noor. He started on the second to last.
He started dead last, actually. He started 42nd in this race, and like you mentioned, he's now up to the 14th position. Not too shabby for Garrettson Noor. He's got that inside on Alex Inero. He's going to gain another position right there. He's on the inside. That's where you want to be. Here's our last race winner here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Jonathan Skimnicki with Garrettson Noor right behind him, just like it was at Martinsville on the inside lane. Right behind John Andrews. This is a hometown race for John Andrews. He's inside the top 10 right now for Wade Enterprises. But back to the race lead. Jesse Turner holding on. Patrick Smith for 2nd on Nicholas Amedeo. That opens the door for Sebastian Cucalon as well. And Cucalon's going to take it away from the 48, but a great run for Amedeo nonetheless. And with these guys spread out the way they are, he doesn't have to worry too much about falling all the way to the back of the field. He should be able to file ahead of Emily Anderson here for the 4th position. But how about Jesse Turner? Pulling away from the rest of the field and holding on for the race lead the past few laps here.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Jesse Turner doing really good, but I'm gonna talk about Sebastian Cucalon here. This driver, his first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series start, came in a hot seat last season, and within that, I believe he got a top 10 finish out of it.
He finished second in that race last year. It was his only Chick-fil-A Cup Series start last year. It's at the Kids Colors 500 at Atlanta, which is very similar to this racetrack, and he finished second in his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series start. So, you know this guy is good. He won the Turkey Hill Series championship last year. He's probably one of the hottest rookies we have in the series, and he is going to go ahead and take the position away. Looks like we had another spin. Josh Marzak and Jonathan Skivnicki, but it did not trigger a caution.
Wow.
You guys probably saw that on the corner there. That's what happens if they just spin down to the apron and they don't come back up on the racing surface. It will not trigger the caution, and that happens frequently here at Texas. Of course, the Stephen Thompson incident brought out the caution because Thompson was sideways on the racing surface. That white line right there, that solid white line, that is the differential between the apron and the racing surface. So if they're above that white line and they're sideways or stopped, the caution will be triggered. But apparently, with that accident right there, that did not happen. But either way, we got another huge wreck, and Fitzy's upside down. And Roger Ray is destroyed in the number 24.
Man, that is unfortunate there. Zachary Fitzwater, terrible flip. We just caught the tail end of that. Man, what a wreck.
Well, it's not going to be back-to-back Texas wins for Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater's actually won this race twice before. He won it in Season 5, and he also... Actually, no, yeah, he won it in Season 5, and he won it last year in a big battle with Brad Stover. That's a good break, I should say, for... actually, it's not a good break for Skivnicki and Marzek because they both went a lap down, so... Not really a good break for anybody, except the leaders, because they got another shot at a pit stop here. Jesse Turner leads the field down, and this is where we might see some strategy because we're still going to have to make another stop after this. You can go fuel only here, or maybe 2 tires if you want to, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys play out here. Turner started deep in the field for this one. He's led the past few laps here. We've only had 2 different leaders, now actually 3, because Nicholas Amadio is going to get a lap led because his pit stall is past the start-finish line. You see Turner coming off right there. He's going to slow up his teammate Matt Dallio a little bit as he tries to come down the pit lane, but it looks like Jesse Turner will win the race off easily. Sam Adio's going to grab second. Then it's Kukulon, Emily Anderson, and hometown hero John Andrews in the top 5. Well, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day here in the Interstate Batteries 500 from Texas. Zachary Fitzwater going upside down in the number 9. Well, a very similar incident to Stephen Thompson, but here it's a little bit more violent. Colton Yo slid up the racetrack as Roger Ray did the same. Fitzwater was to the inside, had nowhere to go, and you see what happened to the number 9. Flipping upside down tremendously as he hit the inside wall significantly hard. It's a tough break for Roger Ray and Colton Yo. They were both running in the top 10 at one point in this race, and Fitzwater, of course, last year's winner here at Texas. Thankfully, it was only those 3 guys involved, but unfortunately, it's going to take at least Fitzwater out, maybe even Roger Ray. It's a tough break for Fitzwater, a wild ride for him after he won this race last year. Not exactly what you want to do coming back to the place you won at 1 year ago.
Yeah, it really kind of shows that when you're coming in with high hopes, winning last year, and coming in this year trying to do the same, but you end up wrecking, that's going to really kind of affect you as a driver there after this weekend, thinking, you know, do we even, well, I'm not going to say do we even have a shot, but it's more, can we be able to come back and do good like we did today, but not crash again?
Yeah, well, we're heading to Rockingham next week, so I don't know what you can take from this race to that one. They're pretty different from each other, but Fitzwater won 3 races last year and finished deep in the points, so, you know, you always keep your head high. Everybody always has a shot in these races, and we'll probably be seeing Fitzy up front next week in the Cheer 1 500K. But either way, let's go ahead and replay this in real time, and then also see what happened a lap before with Jonathan Skivnicki and Josh Marzak.
And I mean, just this crash itself is just really interesting. As you can see, the contact there, and then Fitzwater side over side, end over end. And the wild ride's not over yet, as he finally comes to rest in turn 3. Back on all 4 tires, only just before going back over again. Man, a wild ride for him.
And his teammate Colton Yo was the instigator there as he slid into Roger Ray, who was also sliding up the racetrack. Colton Yeo doesn't actually have that much damage. I think he'll be able to continue, but Roger Ray is going to be done in the number 24. Tough break for Zidell Motorsports. They had high hopes coming into this race, possibly getting a race win, and they still might get a race win with Nicholas Samadeo, who's right now running second. But not exactly today those guys won. Let's go ahead and see what happened on lap before with Skibnicki and Marzak. Then we'll get to the restart here at Texas. Well, you see here, just like the other wrecks, only this time, Marzak took until halfway down the backstretch to spin last week's winner around. That's not exactly what those guys wanted. They're the only two race winners so far this season who have won in this series in prior seasons, and both of their wins prior to Season 8 came in Season 5. And neither of them have run since Season 5. They got a lot in common. They both live in Pennsylvania as well. You probably didn't know that. But they're not going to get the win here today. It's not going to be 2 in a row for Skibnicki. It's not going to be Daytona and Texas like Fitzy did last year for Marzak. So, tough break for those guys. It was just before the caution came out with Fitzwater, Colton Yeo, and Roger Ray. Jesse Turner still out front. He won the race off the pit lane. Sam Adeo's right behind him. Let's have some fun with these veterans on the restart in the Interstate Batteries 500 from Texas. We're back here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Jesse Turner's going to have a little bit of an interesting situation ahead of him on this restart with Skibnicki and Marzak, both a lap down, starting ahead of him. That's going to make this battle for the race lead very interesting. He's got Nicholas Samadeo right behind him for second. Sebastian Kukulon, Emily Anderson, and hometown hero John Andrews. Got the 81 of Ace Garcia, Patrick Smith, another hometown hero. He's south of here. John Arndt in the 05. Another Texas native, Fisher G in here. Jalurban Alonso is 10th. Trying to get his third straight top 5 finish here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Just past halfway here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Jesse Turner holding on to the race lead. Marzak is actually on the tail end of the lead lap. Skibnicki's a lap down. Fitzwater and Roger Ray out of the race here at Texas. And he had to check up there. Sam Adeau going to get shuffled out of line. And Skibnicki, oh my goodness, he's slowing up that inside lane, and Nicholas Samadeo just drove right by Jesse Turner. Here comes Andrews. Turner is not going to be happy with that 26. Skibnicki's going to go up and block Andrews. Now the outside lane's going to get held up, and now that inside lane's going to go right by everybody who decided to go on the outside. The only guy who got an advantage from the outside lane is this guy, Nicholas Samadeo, leading the field lap 35 here at Texas.
Man, that was basically a right call at the right time right there for Samadeo. He knew who was going to be slow on that restart, so he followed in the path of Marzak, and from there, it was just good luck as we have a battle here for second between Kukulon and Turner.
Sebastian Kukulon trying to best it to the veteran for the second position, and he's going to do so. Emily Anderson, Ace Garcia, and Patrick Smith back here as well. John Arnt's in the top 10, Fisher G, and Lucas Jacobson, with Nathan Baird rounding out the top 10 here at Texas now. One guy who really did not get a good run off that restart was John Andrews. He restarted in the 5th position. He got stuck behind Skibnicki. And my goodness, I don't know where he is anymore. Wow, he fell really back a lot, and I think somebody had enough of that 26, or we just had another accident. Riley Spurley and Michael Canto involved in this one. And that is not what Nicholas Samadeo wanted to see. He had a huge lead on the rest of the field there before that accident occurred. But we're under our 3rd caution of the day here at Texas already. I think Emily Anderson got second on the line. We're closing in on a point where if these guys come down now, they might be able to make it to the end. We could end up with a fuel strategy race here if it all plays out perfectly. Or it wouldn't really be perfectly for some people, but we could end up with that situation if we end up with another caution at the perfect time here. This could be that perfect caution. It's going to be 30 laps to go next time by. It's about a 28-lap fuel window here, so Samadeo is going to relinquish the lead. It's a split strategy.
Oh, wow.
Ace Garcia will inherit it in the 81. Samadeo, Emily Anderson, Fisher G's coming down, Lucas Jacobson, the 68 of Carter Friesen, Mitchell Henderson. This is going to get interesting. Not many guys staying out. Most of them are coming down, so it's not bad at all for Samadeo. This might be the right strategy. It looks like it's going to be a fuel-only stop for him. And
well, here's my question.
He's going to win the race off and probably restart in the 6th position. So not too bad for Samadeo. He's got more fuel than the top 5 ahead of him.
Well, here's my question here for this one is, yeah, there's going to be these people taking fuel, or these drivers taking fuel, are going to make it to the end, but what are the odds that, the top 5 or top 6 that are staying out are kind of just thinking, we've had these cautions within our pit windows for the past couple times now. What's the case that something like that's going to happen again, and that this time we'll pit, we'll take the fuel, and we'll make it to the end on that strategy?
Yeah, that might be what they're thinking, but I think these guys were expecting more guys to stay out. Only 5 of them stayed out. They're all going to have to make another stop. When it comes to San Mateo, he's on the edge. So I really don't know how it's going to play out. Marzak, we know he's fast enough to run with these guys or not be an issue like Skimnicki was, which is good. I think Skimnicki's going to be at the end of the field, which is good. We don't want him ahead of everybody on the restart. That's why San Mateo took the lead away from Turner. And I'm sure Turner's not too happy with Skimnicki getting in the way there, but man, it's just the way it goes sometimes. Justin Roberts, our pole sitter, he led a majority of this race earlier on. He is now at the end of the lead lap. Not exactly what Roberts wanted to see. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the third caution. Looks like this happened down the front stretch. See all the tire marks there past the start-finish line. Riley Spurley and Michael Canto getting into it midway through the race here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Well, we were 4 wide off the corner. All these guys were trying to get around Skimnicki, who probably lost a cylinder in that accident. And you see Nathan Stapleton, Daniel McMillan, they're going to squeeze in here. Now McMillan and Stapleton are going to be fine after this. But Canto getting spun around right here. McMillan saves it. Great job by the number 75, and great job by Stapleton keeping it together as well. Skimnicki is probably lucky he was going as slow as he was, because if he was going faster, he probably would have gotten involved in this accident. The only guy who ran into Canto was Riley Spurley, who came in there, had absolutely nowhere to go. Garrett Sonora almost got involved as well, but thankfully, it was only a 2-car accident here at Texas. Very fast and very violent, just like the second one we had here today. But only going to knock out 2 more guys. Still have a lot of guys out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, this was just 4 wide that kind of just went wrong here, and out of nowhere, just like that, and into the wall he goes. I mean, look at how many drivers went and avoided this crash. That could have easily just piled in, but I mean, a lot of drivers, they did professional job here, such as Garrett Sonor, Justin Roberts, a lot of these people. And I mean, Justin Roberts was almost right in the face of all of it.
And thankfully for Roberts, doesn't have a torn up race car, but the thing is, he's at the end of the field now. Not exactly sure how he got there, but not been the best of days for a pole sitter. Either way, it's been a good day for Nicholas Amadeo. He's going to be 6th on the restart as Ace Garcia decided to stay out along with 4 other drivers. Let's see what happens on the restart here in the Interstate Batteries 500 from Texas. We're back here ready for a 3rd restart of the day at the Texas Motor Speedway in the Interstate Batteries 500. Ace Garcia decided to stay out. He's going to be the race leader when we get to the restart here. Jesse Turner also stayed out. He's been one of the dominant guys in this race so far. I don't know if this strategy is going to work out, because I believe these top 5 guys are all going to have to make another stop. John Arndt, Sebastian Cuccolon, and Patrick Smith all stayed out there under that caution. Nicholas San Mateo was the first guy to come down and top off for fuel. I think San Mateo might be able to make it from here. Same with all these guys behind him. Emily Anderson, Fisher G, Herjo Larvin Alonso, and Lucas Jacobson in the 64. Marzak's a lap down in the 34. He's in the way. Skimnicki and Canto, I think just Canto and Spurley are out of the race. I think Skimnicki is still out there in the number 26. Restart, Garcia's got it on Turner for now. San Mateo's going to drive right by the 34. And I think this might be the guy to beat right now. It's Nicholas San Mateo, because I think he's going to find a way around these 5 guys and maybe make it to the end without having to make another stop, unlike the top 5 guys. There goes Jesse Turner. He's not wasting any time getting back to the inside of Ace Garcia. And the 77's back out front here at Texas.
Yeah, and it was a good overtake there for Jesse Turner as he gets back into the lead. Don't forget about John Art here in the 05 Zaxby's Chevy Camaro, and Sebastian Cuccolon also in the mix, along with Patrick Smith. And here comes Nicholas Amadeo now going to the inside of Ace Garcia here. So he's going to take that position. Looks like now Amadeo is going to be on a mission to get back to the front. And Fisher G right behind him following.
Yeah, Fisher G trying to get Dirk Motor Racing their 2nd win in a row. But he's got to get around Jesse Turner, John Arndt, Nicholas Samadillo, Sebastian Cucalon, and Patrick Smith. All of those guys, except for Cucalon, have won races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and Cucalon's a champion on Napa Fan. So he's got a lot of experience ahead of him. There goes Cucalon for second on John Arndt. The thing these top four have to worry about now is will they be able to make it on fuel, because Samadillo's got a little bit more in the tank than they do. But will anybody be able to make it on fuel without another stop? We just don't know. It's still over 20 laps to go here at Texas. Like I said, I believe the fuel runs about 28 laps here, so Samadillo's right on the edge as far as I know.
I mean, right now, the way it's running, I mean, Samadillo, he's got the car to beat out here today. But if it comes down to these top five, or so far right now, the top three that Samadillo has left to pass, if they have to make a pit stop soon, then Samadillo has to kind of guesstimate when, and at the same time, he's also got to figure out, you know, are we good to make it to the end, or will we have to pit one more time to make it? It's kind of just, it's a huge guesstimation, it's a huge strategy play here today, and in these closing laps, it's going to be interesting to see who will come out on top of it, because all it is now is just, it's playing the fuel game.
It definitely is. Samadillo is under fire from Lucas Jacobson. How about the rookie driver, the number 64, going to the inside of the veteran? That's not at all what Samadillo wants to see, and he's got a long line of cars behind him. Ace Garcia's trying to call his way back through the field. Fisher G, and how about Matt Dalio in the top 10? His teammates leading the field, or not anymore. Cucalon to the inside for the race lead, and here comes Patrick Smith as well. The 66 going to second. Cucalon will lead with 20 laps to go at Texas. Turner falls to third, but he's not going to lose any more ground as nobody's right behind him. Fisher G, Ace Garcia, and Matt Dalio all to the inside of Lucas Jacobson. Samadillo 3 wide on the outside. Matthew Phillips and Tristan Allen to the inside of them. Samadillo's fallen like a rock. Got stuck on the outside lane, and it did not work for him at all. Somebody's way up high. That's Jacobson in the 64. Mitchell Henderson and Diego Yepez are now in the top 10 here at Texas. Back for the race lead, Patrick Smith on Jesse Turner. Turner's going to try to get back to the inside of the 66 here on lap 49.
Fisher G. Fisher G right there in third. He's going to go to the inside of Jesse Turner here for the second spot if he can get it. No caution yet as we have a little bit of a spin going down the backstretch.
I think it might have been John Arndt in the 05. He got spun around. We'll go ahead and see what happened there later on. Jesse Turner right behind Patrick Smith. Fisher G, 3 wide to the inside for the race lead. But Turner through the middle's got the run. He's trying to best the number 6 here. Side by side for the race lead with 18 to go at Texas. Still a long ways left in this thing. Matt Dalio, Mitchell Henderson closing in here on Patrick Smith as Fisher G tries to get to the inside of Jesse Turner for the race lead, but they're still side by side.
Turner might lead it.
G's got a bonus point. They're closing in on Jonathan Skibnicki. Skibnicki's got to be careful. His teammates leading this race.
This is going to be the gamble right here. Whoa, Fisher G.
He's going to get blocked, and here comes Patrick Smith and Matt Dalio. The inside lane's closing in fast. Smith to the lead, Dalio up to second, Mitchell Henderson and Emily Anderson on the inside lane. And the outside lane getting held up again by Jonathan Skibnicki, and Jesse Turner getting held up again by the 26. That 77 is going to have a discussion with Skibnicki at the end of this race. I'll tell you that much. They're still stuck behind him. They got to be careful. Fisher G's got to be massively frustrated with his teammate right now. They're going to push him to the outside. Oh my! Whoa. Anderson, Samadillo, and Yepez almost getting into each other right there. And now Yepez getting held up by Skibnicki as they complete the lap around the 26. It's going to get really difficult for these guys. Got to watch out right here. Same situation earlier on with Mikey Canto. Brewing.
Yeah, I mean, man, this is just... I can tell you right now, Skibnicki is not making any friends out here on the track today. And, I mean, it's unfortunate, yes, but, I mean... Just, there are going to be some drivers that are going to have a piece of Skibnicki after this race.
They definitely will. Patrick Smith won at Phoenix 3 weeks ago, going for his second career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory, is out front. Mitchell Henderson, Emily Anderson, Matthew Phillips is up here. Haven't talked about him hardly at all this season, but there he is in fourth. And hello to Tristan Allen running in the top 5 in the number 3. He won the truck race here last fall. Andrew Ross is here. Andrew Miller is here. Matt Dalio getting shuffled at a line in the 79. He was running second at one point. It looks like he might clear the 47, however. I don't think he will. He won't. Miller's going to stay to the inside of him there. But back to the race lead, Emily Anderson and Patrick Smith. Now the question is, because all of those guys who stayed out have fallen outside the top 10, these guys all came down under that last caution. Do you think they're going to have enough in the tank to make it to the end?
Well, I mean, this is kind of a gamble here. I mean, you know who pitted and you don't know who pitted at the same time. I mean, I believe Patrick Smith was one of those that didn't pit, so...
Oh, you know what? You were correct about that, my friend. Patrick Smith did not pit. He still has to make another stop, but he's just going to lose the lead to Matthew Phillips. And Mitchell Henderson's up here in the 25 as well. The development driver to Stuart Gratton. So this guy better know what he's doing, because Stuart Gratton knew what he was doing last year as he finished second in the championship standings in this 25. He's drafting off the 15 right now. It is now 11 laps to go here at Texas for Matthew Phillips. Patrick Smith still third. Andrew Ross, Emily Anderson, Andrew Miller, they're getting to the inside of Tristan Allen. Carter Friesen's up here, and Matt Dalio in the 79 with Alexander Rowe rounding out the top 10.
I mean, the way Mitchell Henderson is performing right now, and you said he better know what he's doing. I mean, I think he knows what he's doing right now in this race as we come to 10 laps to go in the race. I mean, he's up here battling with the number 15 of Matthew Phillips, and at any given point, should there be an opportunity to pass, I think that Henderson's going to make that opportunity happen.
The top 5 here in this race right now, all of them have never won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race before. They're closing in on Josh Marzak again. This is going to get interesting. Now, we got to watch for Patrick Smith here. He's going to be a marker to tell us when these guys are going to start coming down. It was about, I say, 5 laps? No, maybe not 5 laps. About 10 laps in between when Patrick Smith and the leaders who came down pitted. So you know what? I think Matthew Phillips and Mitchell Henderson are good to go to the end. I don't think that there's going to be a problem there because Patrick Smith yet to come down. So all these guys who came down under that last caution should be good to go to the finish. So it's going to be a battle between Matthew Phillips and Mitchell Henderson. We did not see this one coming at all, but here it is. And now 8 laps to go at Texas. Mitchell Henderson to the inside for the race lead on the number 15.
And what did I tell you earlier? I said he probably knows what he's doing. He's doing it right now as he's going to pass Matthew Phillips for the lead here. New leader, give it to the 25 of Mitchell Henderson. The question is now, how long will he hold on to it for Matthew Henderson or anyone else to be able to catch him?
The number 35 of Andrew Ross, Emily Anderson, Carter Friesen closing up here. Tristan Allen, Matt Daly on the inside. They've yet to get around the number 34, and those guys who stayed out are coming down now. They're going to lose so much ground. Sebastian Kukalan, Jesse Turner, John Art, Patrick Smith, and Ace Garcia. So now the question is, will these guys have to come down? I mean, I don't know how many laps it was. It was a really quick caution. It's only a couple laps. It was probably about 7 laps in between those guys, but we did have some caution laps there, so I just don't know. Will these leaders come down? I said that they would be able to make it, but now I'm just not quite sure. Either way, we know that Mitchell Henderson's leading the field. We'll have to see if he can hold on for this race lead ahead of Matthew Phillips.
I mean, as you said before, it's about a little bit of a difference, but as you say at the same time, when that caution came out, they came down and pitted, and the top 5 that stayed out kind of had a little more in the tank than they could bargain for. But at the same time, they're also waiting for another caution to come out, and when it didn't happen...
Oh, Tristan Allen's come down the pit lane. He was one of those guys who came down before. Oh boy, I think they're going to have to come down here. I think, because if Allen came down, and I do not believe Tristan Allen was one of those guys who stayed out. Correct me if I'm wrong about that.
No, I don't believe he was one of those to stay out. Meanwhile, up front, new leader is going to be Matthew Phillips.
Matthew Phillips has just surpassed Mitchell Henderson for the race lead. But the question is, will they have to come back down again? That is the huge question. I'm not seeing any indication by anybody else. There's a problem on Tristan Allen. So Tristan Allen simply had an issue in this number 3. That is a tough break for the Beast Racing driver. So with that in mind, Mitchell Henderson falling off the pace just a little bit as Matthew Phillips is pulled away in the number 15.
At the same time, also keep in mind, you still have drivers here battling with Mitchell Henderson.
There's a huge gap. Did somebody come down?
Ooh.
Oh boy, I can't tell. I don't think anybody did. There was a huge gap in the pack right there. Nobody came down. I'm not sure. There's Colton Yo coming down the pit lane. Because he was involved in an accident. Matthew Phillips down. Matthew Phillips is down. Here we go.
This is getting
2 laps to go
here
for Andrew Ross here at Texas. But I think he's also going to have to come down. Emily Anderson and Carter Friesen. I think everybody came down. A lot of guys came down. I'll tell you that much. Boy.
I'll put my money on Emily Anderson taking the win today because I think she'll pull it out of nowhere and is conserving. Here they go, catching up on Skivnicki now. Will Andrew Ross be able to make it around?
Andrew Ross in the 35 is going to stay out. He's going for this race win. White flag in the air for the Velocity Racing driver. Here comes Emily Anderson in the 5, drafting right behind the 35. They're in it for the finish.
Gotta make a move now.
And here comes Carter Friesen. The top 3, all rookies in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, all going for their first career Cup Series win. Andrew Ross in the 35 holding on with Emily Anderson and the 68 of Carter Friesen right behind him.
It's not gonna happen. Andrew Ross off turn 4 is gonna win the Interstate Batteries 500.
How about that for the rookie driver? Andrew Ross had just enough in the tank to hold on, and he's gonna get the victory here at Texas. And a topsy-turvy way to finish that one off. Matthew Phillips and a lot of guys had to come down near the end. They're all going to be finishing in completely different positions than what they were running in. And Andrew Ross, out of nowhere, rookie drivers had a tough season coming up to this race. He's going to pull away with the victory for Velocity Racing at Texas.
Oh man, what a race!
Wow. And you know, the only reason why these guys had fuel issues right near the end was because of when the last caution came out. If that caution did not come out, everybody would have had to make another stop. But because of that caution, it was an opportunity for those guys to come down, and some of them were able to make it, while some of them were not. One of those guys who was able to make it was Andrew Ross in the number 35, and only 11 guys finished on the lead lap because of all those guys coming down. But we weren't even talking about Carter Friesen, Daniel McMillan, Seth Cole, Andrew Miller in this race, but they all finished in the top 10.
Man, that was unbelievable the way that finish was. I can tell you that right now. Probably one of the best finishes in Chick-fil-A Cup Series this season so far.
Definitely an exciting one. 3 rookies finishing in the top 3. There's the rest of the results right there. Of course, Colton Yo and everybody from Colton Yo is involved in an accident. I think John Arnold also was involved in something during that green flag run. Hopefully we got the replay while it happened for you guys. But, yeah, Tristan Allen, Michael Canto, Riley Spurley, Cody Sills, Zachary Fitzwater, Roger Ray, all those except for Allen involved in an accident in this race. Tristan Allen with a clutch problem. It's a tough break for him. He was running very well in this thing. Boy, we just didn't know who was going to win that thing until the very end, and I'm surprised Andrew Ross did not have to come back down again. I'm glad he didn't. He was able to gas and go, and, you know, he was running second when Matthew Phillips came down there, and he's going to come home with the race win in a topsy-turvy race at Texas. How about that one? Didn't expect that happening, but sure was exciting, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was probably a great race. From the green flag all the way to the checkered flag, this race was probably one of the most bizarre ones, but probably one of the best ones at the same time, because you had so many people coming in with high hopes, and then out of nowhere, the rookie Andrew Ross comes home with the win here in Texas.
And we were talking at the top of the show how good Emily Anderson was doing coming into this race. Well, she's going to move her way up in the points standings. It's just a matter of fact. She's going to come pretty close to her points leader, Mark Davidson, who finished 25th. I don't know how the points are going to shake out after this one, because those guys who were dominant in this race, like Nicholas Samedeo, actually Samedeo finished 9th. Not too bad for him, but Jesse Turner was a guy who was leading a majority of this race, finished 28th. Stephen Thompson, who brought out the first caution, finished ahead of him. Our pole sitter Justin Roberts finished 26th. You know, all these guys who were running up front did not get good runs, and just because they decided to stay out, they thought that they could, you know, run the table and everyone would have to come back down. That wasn't the case. And Andrew Ross, how about that team? I mean, a rookie driver, a rookie team as well, getting it done here at Texas. I don't know, I just don't know what to say after that one. My goodness, you know, we try to get a normal race and boom, something happens like super crazy every time. But I think Andrew Ross is pretty happy about that. His first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory after he almost won the championship in the Truck Series last fall coming in as a rookie. So kudos to Andrew Ross for this one. He earned it, no doubt about that. Well, next week, site of another fun race last year. That was the Rockingham race from North Carolina. It's going to be the Cheerwine 500K. Daniel McMillan's going to come into that race, the defending champion. Of course, McMillan finished 4th here today. Great run for him, but we'll have to see how that one goes down because we're not going to have as much passing, but it's going to get interesting. Only 62 laps there at Rockingham, so it's a short race. But it's going to be a fun one for our first race that does not coincide with the real life Cup schedule, so I'm looking forward to that one. It's always a classic race, the Rockingham Speedway, and we're in store for a good one. But either way, congratulations to Andrew Ross on his race victory. And here are the championship points after 7 races in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So on behalf of Alex Bonsignor, congratulations to Andrew Ross once again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.
Bye, everyone.